What's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video by yours truly. I've actually been wanting to get this video out for quite some time now, pretty much like a state of the Duet Night Abyss, getting a perspective of not only what I think about the game, but I found somebody on YouTube who is worthy of getting their perspective. And it's this guy right here. His name's Sabuchi. I've actually never seen his content before. I clicked on this video, made sure it wasn't sponsored, and that's about it. But I've come to learn that this guy is the warframe guy. And so from where I stand, there's no better opinion to take out there than somebody who was like the warframe content creator. I went to his most popular stuff 8 years ago, bro, was getting crazy views. And then today, this game's been out for like 15 fucking years, right? He's still getting solid views for warframe content. And so this is somebody who obviously has a well-rounded understanding, not only the dynamic of warframe, but now he's also played Duet Night Abyss. And one thing I've been seeing in this space as a gacha content creator is a lot of gacha people doing posting Duet Night Abyss. And their perspective is just so like compromised because they are anti-grind, whereas warframe players are pro-grind. Basically, I want to take his thought process on what he thinks about Duet Night Abyss, and anywhere where I feel he's not tackling certain criticisms or concerns, I will fill in those blanks. Without further ado, let's go ahead and check it out.
If you play Warframe, you've probably heard of a little title called Duet Night Abyss recently. Duet Night Abyss is a video game. It's been getting the ire of many tenno, some screeching it's a soulless Chinese knockoff, and others praising it for dropping the gacha mechanics and adding in quality of life that even Warframe continues to ignore. And then there's me saying, holy shit, 2 cakes! More
I just want to add in right here, I do think it's worth mentioning that some of the like reputation plummet of DNA, I do think because they copied Warframe a bit too much. Like I'm all for, in fact, I always shut people up when they say, oh, this game copied this other game. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. Like every game copies every game today. That's just what happens. It's okay to take inspiration. It's okay to copy a couple of things and add to your game. But, you know, there has to be a line drawn when you like quite literally one-to-one ulting characters from another game, right? It's like one-to-oneing their kits is like, holy shit. And so this is the first point. I don't know if he's going to bring it up, but I want to bring it up. There does need to be a point where DNA ascertains their own identity as a game with their characters, with their progression systems and such. If all they do is continue to copy Warframe, I think a lot of people, maybe not the Warframe players because they love their looter shooter, but I think a lot of people will eventually be like, yeah, no, this game's got no originality. And I think that's fair to say. I think that's fair criticism. So I do expect DNA down the line on 1.1 and so on and so forth to start cooking up characters with kits that aren't from Warframe. Because that also takes away from the excitement. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I know they're just going to take another character from Warframe. But what about when that character comes out and it's not from Warframe? It's something you've never seen before. That's so much more exciting. So I think that's worth mentioning. But I'm not a doom poster of DNA. I actually quite enjoy it.
Warframe is good, even if it comes with some caveats. And I feel like DNA is transformative enough, even if it wears its inspirations on its sleeve, almost to the point of parody. Welcome to the Hyperborean Empire.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Are we really calling it this?
A place that would be right at home in a Hoyo game, and its UI, but everything out of China is using this UI now because it's clean. The open areas of this game are honestly some of the weakest cogs in the machine. It's a place to find Genimon, the Warframe sentinels of the game that you'll need multiples of to rank up and shove passives into. There are a few challenges.
I'm not really a big fan of the Genimon system. It seems like it's too complicated to even level up a Genimon. It's also some of the battle pass ones. I'm like, how the fuck? So if you don't get the battle pass, you just never get them or whatever. I think that system needs some tweaking. But he's absolutely right. The open world is a bit stiff. It's not really that fun. I'm gonna be real.
Here and there for pretty minuscule rewards.
This shit is fun. Oh my god, dude.
Yeah, no, this isn't a bit. This is actually unedited footage of a mission in this game. Yakub, please heal my soul. Stardew Valley fishing.
Like, I always feel like devs undercook or overvalue side quests in games. Listen, man, if you can't think of good side quests, bro, just fucking keep them out the game, bro. They're better off left out.
Because if China's gonna steal a fishing minigame, it better be the best one. And some puzzles. And that's about it. The map is small with more variety coming in the future, but events at the moment are kind of slim and
don't mind a small map. It's 1.0. It'll get bigger as the game releases.
dull. Genimon can be farmed faster elsewhere, and the fishing, okay, it's perfect. The real meat and potatoes comes from the instance-to-instance
Can't be
gameplay,
fucked with
much
fishing.
like Warframe, but instead of the Lotus, we have this annoying cunt.
I'm pretty awesome, aren't I? Go, go, go!
Yeah, bro. See, and that's where you start to see the remnants of gacha games, where they add a dumbass little character that nobody asked for, merely to appease, I guess 10-year-olds and I don't know. I don't know who the hell asked for these little characters in these games, bro. They're annoying every time.
Yay! All down! Yay! All down!
If you've played even an hour of Warframe, these missions don't need much introduction. Termination is extermination, hedge is void cascade, exploration is survival, relocation is hijack, so on and so forth, but not without some variation. Exploration is an interesting take on the survival formula where rather than a ticking down timer, you kill efficiently for a serum resource that speeds waves up. Or mediation, this game sabotage, having side assassination objectives that net you more resources and make the main objective easier.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not a fan of doing any grind game with a fucking timer, because that means no matter how efficient I am, I have to wait on a goddamn timer for that to finish. And so it's basically a finite amount of time that's controlled that you can do nothing about, versus fuck the timer. It's how efficient I am in the run. So if I'm quick, if I can get it done in 20 seconds, I get done in 20 seconds. Or the timer is like, oh, it's a 2-minute run. Even if you get done in 20 seconds, you still gotta wait a whole ass another 100 seconds. No, that's too mundane. It's too tedious. Fuck that.
Relocation, i.e. hijack, has checkpoints and even needs you to clear roadblocks. This little rat popping up now and again, total Lulu death be upon ye! It's not reinventing the wheel, and some variation could
Holy
use
my
a bit of tweaking,
eardrums.
such as mediation just being faster without the side objectives, but it's different enough. All while keeping the familiar with stuff like extermination, defense, capture, and rescue. What I don't jive with is this game's module distribution, or as they call them, demon wedges. Wedges only drop from specific demon wedge missions, and from a pretty large and heavily diluted pool. The mission's big elite unit also drops a wedge from a separate smaller pool. The smaller pool is fine. This is not. There are too many goddamn wedges in this game. And
I feel like not only is there like too many wedges in the game, I think there's not enough real creativity with wedges. I think they have some cool ideas in the game right now, how they transform the scythe, by the way. They gave all the fucking abilities to the scythe. Dash through the air with the scythe, turn the scythe into a goddamn shotgun, make the scythe do a entirely different basic attack sequence. We need a lot more of that, but put into not only all the other melee weapons, but also all the other ranged weapons. And I also feel like doing these instances over and over don't have the excitement and the craving you would have if you're playing something like Diablo or Path of Exile. The biggest excitement for me when I get into these grindy games where grind is the game is legendary drops, rare drops that are massive upgrades to my current build or whatever. And also weapons that are just like very hard to get. I feel like in this kind of game, once you get to the end game, obviously you're just grinding the fuck away. But it doesn't have like a legendary drop. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of one of the biggest exciting things when I get into an ARPG like Diablo or a Path of Exile. I don't know about Warframe, but that's really for me what's missing in terms of the in-game experience. Getting those items that really make your character feel powerful. Power-ups, even power-ups in themselves in the middle of runs. Maybe they amplify and increase the animation effect as well as the damage and potency of the weapon you're using. I feel like a lot of this is missing in Duet Night Abyss. And we're talking in terms of this game's progressional as it continues to put out update upon update. I think this is what's going to make this replay loop and its value overall a much better and enjoyable experience for players. Not even getting into co-op.
later, you'll need dozens of the same for a reason that I'll get to. And they only drop here. But it's fine though, defense drops shekels, and I need them for crafting materials, so I'll do some demon wedge defense missions, hunting wedges I still need, and it's not gonna drop shekels. It's not gonna drop shekels. It just doesn't drop. Crafting is pretty standard, taking a page out of both Genshin and Warframe. You farm materials to craft stuff. Lesser materials can be combined into higher tier materials if you don't have them, or can't reliably farm the harder missions. Craft times are also a fraction of its contemporaries, from instant to just a couple of hours. Demon wedges continue to rear their ugly fucking face though. When you hit Mastery 55, you can start farming gold blueprints of demon wedges, which...
Bro, and let me just tell you, man, that the farming of very important things to progress your account, to develop your characters, to develop your builds. It's really annoying right now. And and part of the reason it's annoying is like little small QOL being not in the game, for example. And then there's other instances that have it in the game, which is even more infuriating. But like character experience farming, you go through the instance and then you have to exit the instance to do it again. Whereas there's another mode in the game, exact same concept. You don't even have to exit. You just continue going. You continue going, and then what people are doing is they're doing 3 of these because you get the most resources that way. And then you exit and go back in. I feel like this whole system can just be fucking overhauled with better QOL, where you should be able to do it endlessly and stack until you get to a wall, and then you eventually reset. But right now we've got like, I don't know, I feel like we're just walking over concepts that kind of just make the game more annoying than it should be. And so that's a problem there. But not only that, farming for gold is annoying. I feel like no matter what game it is, I don't want to farm for currency, bro. I would rather make the currency useless than make the currency scarce to where I have to now spend time farming for fucking currency when I could be farming for wedges, upgrades, legendary gear drops, and so on and so forth. Maybe that's a hot take.
Require multiple of the low tier wedges to craft, and each wedge can be leveled up by putting another golden demon wedge into it, and eventually needing multiple golden wedges per rank. This paired with only dropping these wedges in specific curated missions.
Also, fuck putting a IRL timer on forging. I don't care who the hell thought of it, Warframe, whoever. Dumbest fucking idea ever in video gaming.
With a drop pool that feels more like a drop ocean.
Yeah, the farm kind of starts to get to ya.
What won't get ya is this game's equivalent to the Warframe Relic system, Secret Letters. You can grab letter clues through dailies, events, shops, and from standard enemy drops. Collect 10 of them and you can trade them in for a secret letter of your choosing for either characters, weapons, or wedges. Run a letter mission similar to Void Fishers and you can select one of 3 rewards. The gold sitting at a 10% rarity,
Beautiful
making these
upgrade
on par with
to
Warframe's
Gacha
radiated
garbage.
relics.
Monumental
With a concentrated
upgrade.
farm, you can farm all of the clues to get 1 letter in less than 3 minutes, which actually puts them ahead of the radiant drops that you'd get from stuff like Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, but with the benefit of choosing your relic. I really like this system. This is what
Everybody
Duet
should.
Night Abyss assimilated their gacha system into, and honestly, I could not be happier. Characters need 30 fragments to unlock them. They drop in bundles of 2 for a silver drop and 10 for a gold. On average, you're looking at about 25 to 30 runs per character.
And those runs can take 20 to 30 seconds. So 20 to 30 minutes of getting a character versus the gacha principle. Oh, I ran out of the resource. Give $150. Oh, I want to get him on the rerun. I don't know when the rerun comes. The rerun finally comes. The character's weak and shit and it got power crabs. Way better. And you can max them out, dupe them out, and everything. Yeah, bro, infinitely better.
And that sure as hell beats opening your wallet and pulling. Gacha here is strictly cosmetic. I am a Nikkei addict. I am 3 years in. I don't need more of this in my life. You do have to farm another 30 for each of their duplicates to get their introns up all the way into Intron 6. But again, I would rather farm for free than spend $200 for
Yes,
a
sir.
chance to get
Preach, brother.
something. Fuck you, Neuda, you monk fraud. The limited weekly
Holy,
boss with
who is
chance
that?
to get something. Fuck you, Neuda, you monk
What the fuck? Is this a Warframe character?
fraud. The limited weekly boss runs dropping exclusive character pages does get a bit cumbersome, taking weeks to months to get all the introns needed for a character or weapon. But now we have confirmation that these characters will be cycled into the main shop as new characters are added, meaning no vaulting system. Intron 6 Tabitha will be mine.
I would really like it if I listen, man. This might be another hot take. I would really like it if this game had like pseudo raid bosses. Pseudo raid bosses that have a chance for you to drop legendary banger ass demon wedges and gear or whatever for people to just have a reason to co-op and play together and play their builds together. I feel like this game's co-op, obviously apart from the fucking horrendous, egregious polish, it needs a bit more love. And we need some modes with more hoarding. Like you got immersive theater, which is your only real legitimate end game, but it's like, I want like an immersive theater type of mode that I can play with my friends. That's kind of like, for me, that's the main like attraction for this game.
Weapons work a little bit differently. You just need the silver components and 1 blueprint, that being the gold. You still need to farm dupes to smelt them together, but when you have all of those easy silver components, you're always going to be going for the magnets and gelatin for track shift modules, and oh my god, that's Forma. Fuck my dumb chud Forma light. It's a shame that I won't be using many of the weapons because they kinda suck shit. Even with upgraded gold wedges, faction damage, and conditionals, weapons outside of a select few feel incredibly undertuned. At
It's like, bro,
least compared to the characters. My Lizbel is dino dick slamming for millions, and Lady Neefel literally drops churches on people. What the fuck is this thing going to do? But
yeah, man. I mean, this shit is so true, dude. And I've told people about this, and a lot of people are in agreement, but there's people delusional enough to believe the weapon system is perfectly fine and balanced. Oh, bro, I had a guy in my chat one time talking to me about, oh, it's just a knee-jerk reaction. The weapons are fine. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? The character skills are infinitely more powerful, more fun, and more enjoyable than playing with the fucking weapons. You gave me a pistol to equip to my character that I am never going to use. No bullet will come out of that pistol. It is purely a stat stick. That is the most boring shit I've ever seen in my life. In a game where you could do so much in terms of abilities, you have chosen to give me a regular ass pistol shot, and that is it. This is where I'm saying where the in-game replay value can be expanded upon by dropping legendary drops and shit that say, oh, your pistol that does that weak ass pistol shot is now firing fucking special beam cannons like Piccolo. That sounds a lot more fun. You know what I mean? Now they can, of course, just roll out more weapons as patches go by, but it'd be a lot more fun to just add value onto pre-existing pistols and change the very functionality of how that weapon operates. That is way better and it will enhance the replay value of this game 3,000-fold.
But the neat thing about weapons is the passives that they give, from duration to range to skill damage. Warframe would never. You even get some really cool ones with conditionals like Arclight Apocalypse giving random buffs every time it crits.
Nice.
When you have your wedges, introns, and weapons, you can craft a team to give you support. It becomes a fun game of mixing and matching abilities to best support you as the main DPS.
Although those supports in single player mode are they're kind of retarded, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. They need a little bit more tuning in terms of what they do. I know when you play with the Peeb lookalike character on the pig, she just be throwing that fucking pig for no reason sometimes. It's like, brother, what's happening here? And so I feel like they need to have a little bit more presence on field, a bit more potency with what they do. The girl you're looking at on screen is the one exception. She puts in that work. But you need a bit more. That said, if you're playing in co-op, this isn't a problem.
Being the Warframe Mesa main, I obviously use Lyn. I pair her with Tabitha using Arclight to multi-buff my skill damage multiplier, and I use the Fox Hunter, filling her with all of the skill duration modules and letting her use incandescence to buffer my weapon damage. Despite there being only 18 characters at the moment, there are so many fun combos you can use. Every character actually has some sort of place. Well, maybe not every. You can play online, but expect whack scaling until the balance patches drop. I enjoy Duet Night Abyss. It does a lot different, but it doesn't do all of it right. But it's a damn good first attempt, albeit lacking a little bit of its own personality. But people getting upset just because it took the template of Warframe just shows how good the Warframe template really is. Because not only did it take from Warframe, but it understands why Warframe is so good and why that formula works.
I completely agree to a degree, but I slightly disagree in terms of how much they took, especially if they continue to take in the same exact amount. It is important to find your own real identity at some point versus taking an exact same kit from another character and continuing that process. But I agree with the overall message of them. I do.
Unlike that other cancerous turd that I begrudgingly put 1,000 hours and $500
I've never played this
into,
game nor seen it.
We like to loot and shoot and repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And DNA does that in droves. I suggest giving Duet Night Abyss a shot. Maybe not as a main game, but something to keep an eye on and watch. Because there is something here. Something welcoming and something familiar. Rebecca Mating Press.
Fantastic video. This guy was awesome. I loved that video a lot, actually. Good presentation. This is the dude here. I'll be sure to link his video down in the description box. You guys comment down below. I think we did a pretty good job together collectively, letting you guys know his side of this perspective from a Warframe veteran, and then, of course, Gacha Smack here. Peace, love, and happiness, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.